Okay, so like it's June 10th, 2025 right now, right? So I would say like the past 2.5 years, I've been talking about, pretty much being stalked from people like Justin Bieber, right? Now, can you imagine having to deal with something like this within the last 2 years, right? I mean, it's June 10th, 2025 right now. Like, you would assume a stalker would cease with his war games. You would assume that, right? You would assume that, that you would assume that somebody, like, who hates another person would eventually put down the argument. You would assume that somebody would at least, okay, yeah, I've already got the message across that I don't like this black Jewish girl, you know what I mean? And I've already put on enough mask trying to tell the whole world that I'm her, you know what I mean? I've already projected myself, to assume to have her energy. You understand me? And you would think that he would eventually just walk away. Tell me, why is it June 10th, 2025, and he's still trying to pursue me? This Justin Bieber kid. Why are you still stalking me, Justin? You need to answer that question. Like, just check his vlogs right now. Like, he tried to talk in code, he's trying to, like, get certain messages across and stuff like that. But we all know for a fact, like, you're just shape shifting and you're just remote viewing me. And then you're trying to assume, like, as if you have something to say to me, it's best you come and tell me to my face. I don't need you trying to use YouTube to try and get messages across, trying to use my energy and use me as a person, as a black Jewish female. Do you understand me? To project how much you hate black people. You don't need to be doing that, Justin. You're a complete narcissist. Full blown narcissist. Your pride is like ridiculously redundant. This pride you're trying to project yourself out, trying to use me, you can't do those things in this life anymore. You know that? You are a complete sociopath. Even your sociopathy, like, it doesn't equate to anything but hate, envy, and jealousy. Like, how many it's in a realm of psychopathy. If you mix like a full-blown narcissist and you mix up psychopathy with the hints of schizophrenia, like that pretty much makes up, oh no, and add some egomania. Your egotistical maniac too. Add that to the mix. Add that to the cluster, Justin. And that pretty much makes up your whole personality on social media. You need to ask yourself, like, who are you fooling in this reality? When are you going to come to the point where you're just going to have to respect universal law? And the point is that you cannot be sitting around talking about certain type of energies without the person actually being present. If you had a problem when it comes to God and his Jewish peoples, because mind you, there are over like maybe 30 different blood groups of Jewish people, probably more than that. You understand me? But for you to sit around with this mask on, trying to assume yourself to be a black Jew, have you actually looked yourself in the mirror? You don't have melanin. You cannot be projecting yourself to be a black Jewish female. You do not have melanin. You need to respect universal law when it comes to people actually being present in this reality. You don't carry certain energies, especially certain energies when it comes to black Jewish people, the black Jewish bloodlines. You don't carry our energy, Justin. That's why you don't make any sense online. It's you sitting around trying to project yourself, trying to be all mysterious and everything, when we can all see for a fact that you are fake as hell. You're hellish. You're far from an Ashkenazi, Justin. You're far from it. Are you Hellenic? I would say so. But you played around with so many energies in this lifetime to the point where you're just a straight up fool and you just can't play that game anymore. Don't be playing around with Jewish people. Don't be playing around with God's bloodlines. You played around with biblical bloodlines. The narratives coming from biblical bloodlines. Justin Bieber is so narcissistic to the fact that like he actually thought every biblical bloodline coming out of the Bible was him. He actually thought he had certain personalities. He thought he was like one body with a whole bunch of personalities. That's why it's June 10th now, and people can see how much you're just completely out of control, and people can see for a fact that it's supposed to be that way because you're inauthentic. You have no integrity from the beginning. Everything was all rooted in how much you hated Black Jews because you weren't us. You need to accept those facts, especially when it comes to universal law. You need to respect that reality, that you don't have my reality. Do you understand me? Like, can you imagine, like, I posted these things online for the last, like, almost 2.5 years now of how much he's been stalking me and telling the world. Pretty much, like, his only skill set is going on YouTube talking about a Black Jewish female, talking about me. He centered his whole career talking about a Black Jewish woman. And he thinks that's Jewish life. Isn't that crazy? Do yourself a favor, Justin Bieber, and return back to your own energy and return back to your own ancestry. And you need to go back when it comes to biblical blood. You understand me? You need to start telling the truth. When it comes to genetics, you need to start telling the truth about who you are in this reality and stop trying to assume yourself to be me. Your masks are disgusting. Do you hear me? Completely disgusting. It doesn't make sense for you to sit around and just want to disrespect God when it comes to God and collective groups of Jewish people. You weren't on board with what God meant. You obviously weren't. And that was never your place. If you didn't like it, don't talk about it, Justin. If you don't like Black Jews, you don't want to. You don't want to be. You don't want to. You don't want to come together as a collective, Justin. You can't assume yourself to be us. You can't hate us and then want to be us at the same time. You're not God. You're not Jesus. You're not. Don't you ever dare ever go online ever again trying. He went online. I heard it. Justin went online talking about how he's like God. I'm sorry, Justin. I don't know who told you that lie. Because we know for a fact that God and Jesus, God was never a drug addict. God was never mentally ill. Neither was Jesus. God was never an alcoholic. You understand me? How could you ever assume yourself to be God? How could you ever assume yourself to be like God? You are God is not a liar. You understand me? He's not a liar. You talked about things. You talked about things that you talked about things that shouldn't even came out of your mouth. You said things about Black Jews that shouldn't even been said, Justin. I think he needs to come to this realization that, these are past life energies. These are past life entities. That's what he represents. It reminds me of like back in the day in Canada. I used to live like up north, and if you ever research Canada, they have something called the Northern Lights. You know what I mean? And they used to have a lot of like folklore tales. The native tribes in Canada, they have a lot of stories. A lot of things used to go out, happen in the forests, out in the wild, in the bushes and stuff like that. You understand me? You know the concept out of like Sasquatch and all those things, the Nephilim and all those things, right? All those things, they exist in Canada. You understand me? Um, but the point is that it's disrespectful to the Most High to not acknowledge your true ancestry. And Justin Bieber, he needs to acknowledge the fact that he's like actually a native Turk. If you look at his face, like you have brown hair and your face is white. You have the face of a native. You are not black. You don't have black hair. You don't have woolly hair. You're not black. You are not the black California son. And you are not the black California female. Do yourself a favor and take off those masks because it's over. The era is finished and you need to move on with your life. Tell the truth about what you are doing and then walk away, Justin, because this life doesn't belong to you. You just sitting around like, so he wanted to play. Can you imagine? You're a Turkish Jew. Justin Bieber, he's a Turkish Jew. He's like a Turkish Greek Jew, right? And then you wanted to play like the shadow of like a black Jew. And then you actually thought you actually have rights to reflect off of a black Jew. When you're clearly racist against me, Justin, you don't like black Jewish people. So why are you here in California? Just like when it comes to like, the Declaration of Independence that talks about people's freedom. No, it's not your freedom to come here to California talking shit about black women. That's not your freedom. Like he is the epitome of what a narcissist represents. That's what he is. When it comes to like Justin Bieber is the poster child of what a narcissist consists of. His everyday actions. We're talking about like YouTube posts, different. He's obsessed with spell work. Oh my God, you are obsessed with spell work, and he likes. You know what he likes to do? You can tell he likes to play around. He'll take like old photos of himself and he'll piece it together in a YouTube video. It's all spell work. Just check the wording and everything. Like it does not make any sense. It's not like he's creating like just a random rebuttal. It's not like he's just creating like a random video. It's not like that. It's actual like when you're remote to use somebody and then you're taking spells out of it, and then you're trying to piece it together and trying to assume like, yeah, I carry that energy. And we all know for a fact you don't carry certain energies, Justin. You don't carry the energy of a female. You can't even get pride right. You know that? But at the end of the day, like I know God himself, he always gives warnings when it comes to narcissists and their pride. You understand me? God himself gives warnings. And when it comes to my own history, I mean, I've been talking about it for quite some time now. Like I said, when it comes to universal law, certain bloodlines, certain actual people, they actually have to be present. You cannot be talking about a certain person's energy without the person being present, right? Hey girl, I still need send me some cherries, okay? Oh, he ate them all? It's okay, next time. No worries. Yeah, so yeah, when it comes to me and my own life's history, I know for a fact that Justin Bieber, like, he's been doing all of this because he's just like an average, everyday, karmic native. And obviously, like, he's that type that he was just embarrassed, he was ashamed. He came from that, historically, the stories of the native people, the native tribes, right? Um, they were colonized by the Catholic Church. Everyone knows that. But like most of the time it was some of their parents, some of their grandparents. They used to train people. They used to tell their children and grandchildren not to tell people that they were native. There were actually a lot of them that they were embarrassed to be native. A lot of them, they were embarrassed, they're embarrassed about like their native features and everything like that. I think that wasn't appropriate because they're actually beautiful. You know what I mean? Like native people are like really good looking. You know what I mean? So I don't. Justin Bieber, at the end of the day, like even if he did lie, at the end of the day, the truth has to come out. He has to tell the truth in regards to what kind of fish are you? You're a native fish. You're not a black Jew. When it comes to Jewish blood, you're a Turkic Greek Jew. You didn't come from like, you're not a black Jew. You're not a black German Jew. You're not a black Jamaican Jew. You're not a black African Jew. You didn't come from those Federation bloodlines. So this is like extremely disrespectful behavior. Extremely disrespectful. You understand me? And you know what's so sickening about Justin? Like you're so much of a narcissist. You talk so much shit about what you cannot do. You talk so much shit about like work that you never accomplished. You can't get any more narcissistic than that, eh? Oh, back in the day, I used to do this and I used to do that. And he's talking about oh, yeah, I have all these mind memories of this and that, blah, blah, blah. And then when it comes down to it, you ain't got shit to show for, Justin. You didn't do any work but talk garbage about me who actually did the work. I accomplished those things. Those are my memories. Those aren't your memories. You don't carry the memory of a black Jew. And you know what? You need to accept the fact that God, when it comes to you in Hollywood, like it was just a chance. That's all it was. So how dare you go online talking about how you're a black Jew? You don't carry the black Jewish timeline. You don't carry the black Jewish narratives. You're not interesting. When it comes to you and Judaism, like you're not deep. How dare you you're trying to reflect Judaism with narcissism? That doesn't make any sense. You're either a certain type of Jew or you're not. And you're so upset because you're stuck in your native timeline, right? But guess what, Justin? You come from that federation of racism. And guess what? When you're racist, you're limited. You should have known that. And you should have known better. You should know better not to hate other black Jews. The same people like me that you're coming to try to help you, right, Justin? But we know for a fact that you're that racist type. We can't help you. I can't help you. And you should accept that. You should have accepted that. Even the Most High knows for a fact that you're a racist. You don't like other Jews. You don't like other Jews that have melanin on their skin. God knows that. And then let's talk about like Justin Bieber with like if you combine his narcissism with hypocrisy, like come on, just bring the towers, eh? Just bring on them towers. Take off all those damn masks and just bring the towers. Because you cannot own someone else's history. You can't control another black Jew. That is anti-God. That puts you in the realm of atheism. You're an atheist. When it comes to my truth, you're a phony atheist. Do you understand that? That means all you wanted to do was just he wanted to play the Bible in God's face. You went and sat in churches and said, God, I'm a black Jew. God don't respect you. God is a respecter of people who are willing to accept their own truths. You should accept it yourself for who you are. You are a Jewish Greek Turk. You're a Turk from Turkey. Your ancestry is Turkish. Do you even know where Turkey is? I don't think he knows. You've been sitting here trying to play the black Jew for so long to the point where you truly don't even know yourself. And in the end, you're so unapologetic to the point where you would never even apologize to your own fans to even tell them that, yeah, you know what, I am a native. My ancestry is native. When are you going to tell the world that you're a native? You're embarrassing yourself. As a matter of fact, like the native people out of Canada, like they're not bad people. They're actually like really good people. They were colonized. Your ancestry went through that colonization out of trauma. You understand me? That's the blood that you're carrying through you. And you think that you could try and work your way through? You think that black Jewish and their pains and their trauma was the same as the natives? Who told you that was right? There were similarities. But guess what, Justin? Black Jews, we don't wear moccasins. Oh my gosh, Justin, guess what? I actually found the paper. I actually found the papers right in front of me. So I'm going to count how many different type of Jews there are. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. So, yeah, so far I've counted 38 different Jewish bloodlines. Now, come on, that means there's like 38 different genetic genetics, Jewish genetics or Jew genetics when it comes to like people's distinctiveness, Justin. You got it all wrong. Completely all wrong. And you know what's more disgusting about you? Like, it's the fact that it's, like I said, it's June 10th, 2025 right now, and like you still don't care. You are not of God. You are on the devil's side. You don't care for the fact that you insulted God in this generation. Tried to colonize a black Jew? Are you crazy? You come from the European side when it comes to Jewish people. You're in that realm of Greek and Turkish. That's European. You didn't come from the side of African. Or even when it comes to like realms out of like the Middle East, that's not who you are. You are not African Jew. Oh Lord. It's just so disgusting that like in the end, you see this realm now, you see what's going on television and everything like that. Like people are canceling out people's like, their EBT cards and all that stuff because at the end of the day, only truth stands. Only in the end of the story, only truth, only people who are of the truth would know the end of the story. They're the ones who know how to complete the story. All you fakes and phonies, you're all karmics. You're all karmics. They just need to come to a conclusion that they were never a part of certain soul tribe cultures. Like you're a you're what do you call them? Culture vulture, appropriator. When are you gonna close out those cycles, Justin? I mean, when you look at it, he's inciting. It's still in a realm of like of trying to incite war when it comes to like Jews. That's what he's trying to do. You know what's so funny? I think it was like 2 days ago I saw on national television, right? They were talking about how Iraqi, no, not Iraqi, the Israelite people, like their passports are banned in Asia. Now, why is that? You cannot just try to assume yourself to be a certain way unless there was some type of biblical or blood connection. That's the only way. But if not, no. And do I blame Asia for doing that? No, I don't. I don't blame Asia for doing that. I'm pretty sure God instructed Asia to do that too. But you know what? This is another reason why, like, Justin needs to stop trying to project himself to assume to be a part of, like, when it comes to me as a black Jewish female. You know what I mean? Like, he's just not that collective of people. You understand me? He's a very confused individual because there was a lot of energies that he was playing around with. First, he was talking about me and trying to make up a story as if like, oh my God, like black Jewish people are bad, right? But then it started to he started to like turn it into like as if like, okay, well, I can be a black Jew now and like I can talk about, how I felt being a black Jew. He was playing around with black Jewish emotions. Isn't that disgusting? Isn't that disgusting, Justin? This is what you did out of an era. And that's why he look at him now, he looks disheveled on national television because you never knew what you were talking about from day one. And at the end of the day, you should have apologized to God, and if anything, you should have apologized to people like me. You understand me? For existing. Because you wouldn't exist, Justin, if I didn't exist. There would be no narrative. You would have nothing to talk about on social media if I didn't exist. Every day, all Justin wants to do is project out this narcissistic energy on YouTube. And all that needs to come to an end. But like I said, like it's disgusting. It's disgusting when people ignore the truth and then they want to ignore God at the same time. You understand me? And when it gets to that point, like you're just in hell. That's it. And if Justin, guess what, Justin? If you're okay with being in hell, get the fuck out my energy, please. Do that for yourself. Get out of my energy. Stop playing with my energy. You don't have my history. You're not a part of my linguistics. You don't have my medical genetics when it comes to me being a Jew, a blood-born black Jew. I mean, I came out with melanin, Justin. I'm not no clone, copycat, mimicking whatever you want, whatever you were trying to be. I'm actually the real thing. I'm the original, Justin. My ancestry is of the Jewish population. Do you understand me? It's a manifestation of how I'm different. You are not me, and you'll never be me. You understand me? You'll never have my Jewish culture. You can never express yourself to be the way I am. You're not even from my community. You need to respect Jewish linguistic diversity. Respect it. You hear me? Respect what you are not. Come on, man. Like this is why like it's important. Okay, like I need to go through my laundry and stuff like that right now, but this is why it's important for people to like kids need to like they need to finish their high school. Like you need to go and like pay attention to history class and go learn about histories of other cultures and other people because there actually are genealogical differences when it comes to other people's DNA. And if you think for a minute that you think it was appropriate to use other people's characteristics and personalities in this lifetime, you don't have my frequencies. You don't have my frequencies when it comes to my blood DNA groups, Justin. You are not a part of my haplo DNA. Do you hear me? So quit the stalking. You are not the Hierophant. And like I said, when it comes to Jewish people, like as groups, as a collective groups, Jewish people have good intentions when it comes to people. We respect God. I'm not going to project on any type of evil or negativity towards people, especially if God instructs me to do something for a group of people. I'm going to obey the Most High. I don't wish any type of ill will towards any Jew in this reality. And that's the difference between me and you. And that's a genetic difference in regards to who you are not. You are not a black Jew. You are destructive. It's clear as day how he didn't even want people like me to be recognized because you know for a fact we have better personality traits and we actually love God and we actually love God's people, Justin. You don't love God. You don't love God's people. You hate God's people. That's your genetics talking. That's your genetics behaving bad. So quit talking, going on social media, talking about Jewish inheritance because it was never yours. You hear me? Stop talking about certain frequencies because it's just not in you. There was never a competition. There never was. Everything's an illusion. Everything that you were talking about, everything that you did, it was pure disrespect towards black Jews, other Jews. Quit the bad conversations online and quit talking about me online. Do you notice, like, he'll talk about certain things, and then people will be like, who is he talking about? Who is he talking to? And I can tell you, about probably 80% of the time, he's trying to direct that energy towards me. But you already made it very clear to me, Justin Bieber, that you don't like black Jews. How many more times do you have to repetitively project that energy out to me? Because I really, truly understand that you don't like black Jews. And that already went up to the universe. So guess what, Justin? To hell with you. To hell with you as a Turkish Greek Jew. Jewish person. To hell with what you wanted when it comes to my black life. Do you understand me? It's the fact that, like, these people, like, they're up in these churches and, like, they actually don't read the Bible. They actually don't know bloodlines. They don't know certain topics. They don't know their journey. They don't even know their own journeys. Why are you trying to follow someone else's journey when you should have been learning about your own ancestral journey, Justin? You need to figure out where your true home is and stop trying to figure out who I am, because I know who I am. God told me who I am. You want to talk about a black Jewish person's a destiny? You're not a black Jew. You're a void when it comes to you trying to assume yourself to be a part of the black Jewish journey. You're not there. You are the enemy. I'm well aware that you're the enemy. And you want to sit around talking about, yeah, I want to take over black Jewish destiny. No. It's so sickening. The way, like, these delusions that Justin puts out online. You are a thief. You are delusional. Anyway, I need to go get some water to drink. I'm gonna do my laundry right now because, I don't waste my time on social media being mentally ill, talking bad about a black Jewish female and her family all out of envy, right, Justin? Because that's what you do every day. You get up out of your bed always worrying about what I'm doing every day. That's what you're doing. And you think that's competition? You get up out of your bed and talk about how much you hate me. I love people. I don't hate people. Literally, like, right now, like, as I post this video, like, they're remote viewing me right now to try and see what I'm doing right now because they want to copy it. That's what they're doing right now. You know what's so disgusting? Like, because, I'm a Jew. You understand me? So I carry certain frequencies. When it's time for me to get into prayers, when God instructs me to do certain things, read certain texts, right? That's what Jewish people do. We go into prayers. You understand me? And I wear my headscarf and everything like that. And all of a sudden, Justin's online. He put on a red headscarf because he's remote viewing me, trying to assume himself to be me. It's so crazy. Just go online. Just go check his videos and you'll see all the bullshit. You understand me? You're not me. You're just not me. Even when it comes to Jewish people as a collective, I'm one individual. I'm not God. God, I'm that rare gem. I'm very, very rare. I am not like an average person. I'm not. My genetics is like out of this world. I actually got bomb genetics. You hear me? Justin doesn't have my genetics. That's just what it is. Yeah. And he feels as if like he wants to play God when it comes to black Jews. Isn't that crazy? You're doing all of this, Justin, knowing for a fact that God is watching? Oh, okay, I get it. So he's just upset because now he's all trapped in these illusions now, right? And you're upset now, right, Justin? Because you know for a fact that you can't keep up with these illusions, right? That's why you're still remote viewing me to see what I'm doing, right? Right? He's too thirsty. It doesn't make any sense. When it comes to choice, like, how do you hate someone when you're married to somebody else? Like, that is like so crazy. And like I said, like, when it comes to like Justin, he's a warhead. You understand me? That's what they do. Like, just check Turkey. Just research, type in Turkey, and you'll see all these wars and these bad battles, and their mindset is just like, ugh. You understand me? You are repulsive, Justin. The fact that he chose, out of all things, he should have made better choices in his lifetime. But out of all things, he chose to want to war against the black Jew. You don't see that as like psychopathic. You don't see that as like rotten, eh? Anyway, I have to come off of YouTube right now because, like I said, I actually have a life, right, Justin? I don't spend time going to practitioners and asking practitioners, like, oh my God, like, what is this black Jew doing now? What is she gonna do now? Okay, so she's doing this. Oh, she's dressing this way. Okay, well, I'll try to glamorize myself the way that whatever's going on in her mind. I want to think the same way. I don't do that, Justin. I have my own mind and my own thoughts. You understand me? When it comes to my ancestry, because I respect people like Bob Marley, Holly Selassie, you understand me, Marcus Garvey, those are my ancestors. I'm a black Jamaican German Jew. I respect my ancestry, where I came from. There's certain things out of life I know for a fact that I cannot change. And knowing for a fact I am proud to be who God made me. Do you hear me? It's an unfortunate event that you're not proud of who you are. You're not proud to be a native Turk. You're not. You're not proud to be. So I don't know if you. What is it? Are you Inuit or are you Métis? You from which First Nations tribe out of Canada, Justin? You forgot to tell the people on social media that information about yourself. You forgot that part. And guess what, Justin? You're not my monkey, okay? You're not my circus, okay? Stop trying to circulate your life around me. I think you've been targeting me long enough. You're so caught as a boy, like it doesn't even make sense anymore. You're just hanging around California, aren't you? Just sitting around and saying, oh, you know what? I'll just sit around and wait and see what this black Jewish girl's gonna do. That's what they're doing. Let me just sit around and wait to see what she's doing, and then yeah, Haley, oh yeah, we can both come together and we're gonna copy her. Yeah. That's all that's in your mind. Day in and day out. You're a parasite. You're a parasitic paradigm matrix system of narcissism. That's all you are, Justin. Thought form after every thought form, Justin. Of war. Do yourself a favor and you'll mind your own business. When it comes to my life is a private life. Do you hear me? And you have no right to sitting around trying to exploit my life on YouTube like the way how you've been doing, sitting around and talking about me day in and day out, every single day with your magic, Justin. Bad relationship. That's all you are. You're a bad relationship to Christ. Every day you sit around in hermit mode talking about how you want to be us. Oh, I want to be her. I want to be the Queen of Cups. Oh, I want to be the Hierophant. Yeah. Let's talk about how much I want to be her. Anyway, I'm going to go do my laundry. I'm going to go get myself a drink. I don't play God. I'm actually present within myself. I acknowledge the Most High. You understand me? And when it comes to my Judaism, Justin, that's my private life, and you need to stay out of it. Do you hear me? Stay out of it. Bye.